Hey everybody, it's Doc and the Olympic trials have started. This is the best time of the year. I am so excited. I've been waiting for this for so long, and I know you have been too, maybe not. But what we're gonna do is, on this channel, I'm gonna educate everyone out there on the world of track and field. We're gonna talk about some of the events coming up. We're gonna talk about the athletes. We're gonna talk about some of the things about track and field that relate to the real world. And we're gonna talk about the history of track and field so that everyone's interested in the meet that's coming up, which is the Olympic trials. So, how I got into track and field is I went to the Olympics in 1996, not as a runner, as a child. I was 9, 10, no, I was 12. Anyway, but I got to see the 100-meter, no, I was 12, finals, and got to see the world record happen live. To me, it seemed like superheroes emerged in real life, and I got to watch it. From that moment on, I wanted to participate in track and field. I wanted to be a runner. I wanted to be a star. And I told myself that I'm going to go to the Olympics. And technically, I am going to the Olympics, but not as a runner, as a spectator. But that's okay. My mom still loves me, and that's all that matters. So, what this channel is going to be about is about the Olympic trials, which is going to take place June 21st to June 24th, and then June 27th until June 30th. They give them like a 2-day break in between to rest. So I'm going to break down what events happen on these days, the channels that they come on for television and streaming purposes, and things of that nature, so that it's a lot easier for everyone and anyone, if you're a runner or non-runner, to get an idea of what the Olympic trials are about and how it works. In order to participate in the Olympic trials, I'm going to break down 3 things that you need to do in order to be a participant. So first and foremost, for the U.S., you got to be a U.S. citizen. It's real simple. You got to be a U.S. citizen. You have to run a qualifying time at a qualifying event or qualifying meet, which is sanctioned by the USATF. And you have to meet a certain standard at that qualifying event. So you can't just show up at the trials and say, I want to run and try to compete for the Olympics. You can't just do that. You have to meet certain standards in order to qualify. And then once you qualify, you place your entry, and then they decide if you declare or not. So that's some of the informational part that we kind of got out the way. And now we'll get to some fun stuff. The new superstars in running / track and field / whatever you want to call it are as follows. Now we have some pros who are former world record holders, former world champions, Olympic champions, and then we have some up and comers, and we have a couple young athletes that are really gonna blow your mind because they're doing things that I could never imagine I could ever do in my life, and they're like 16 years old. So let's get to the first one. I got my little cheat sheet here. This isn't coming straight from my brain, so I have to cheat because I'm 40. Anyway, some of the athletes that we want to watch are in the 400-meter dash for the men, Michael Norman, who is a world champion. Now, he's going to be a little upset because in the last Olympic trials or last Olympic games, he didn't do so well. So he came back, became world champion, and now for this Olympics, he wants to be the champion. So he's not going to let anyone stop him. But there's a kid named Quincy Wilson, who's 16 years old and qualified for the Olympic trials. And he's going to compete to be on the Olympic team at 16 years old. He's a high school sophomore. Most high school sophomores don't even make their high school relay. And he wants to be on the fastest relay in the world. So definitely stay tuned and watch out for him. And the 800 meters, now this is all day 1 that I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about day 2, day 3 later on, but this is all day 1 athletes that you want to watch out for. We have Athing Mu, who is the Olympic champion in the 800-meter dash. She is one of the greatest, most fantastic, one of the stars of our sport. Moving forward is in the 1500 meter dash. There are 3 runners that we're going to look at. Cole Hawker, Craig Inglis, and then the Goose. Those 3 guys are going to be our greatest shot to medal at the Olympic Games. And they're all strong kickers. So they're going to be in the trials on day 1. There's going to be semis, but that finals, you're going to want to see a world champion versus an NCAA champion versus an NCAA record holder. So those 3 things they're coming with, and they're going to battle all the way to the end in a fantastic race, which I'm starting to love because it's the metric mile. That's why it's the 1500 meter dash and not the not meter dash, but the 1600 meter race. All right. So in the 100 meter dash for women's, we have Sha'Carri Richardson. And at this point, if you don't know Sha'Carri, then you don't watch running or you don't watch track at all. She is the greatest star that we have right now. And she's on a mission to be an Olympic champion because at our last Olympic trials, she won the trials. She qualified for the Olympics, but she got tested for weed and she got banned and she couldn't compete. So I know this go round, she wants to, redeem herself and she wants to compete against the Jamaicans. That's our nemesis. She wants to compete against them on the biggest stage and win. And then we have Abby Steiner and Aaliyah Hobbs. Aaliyah Hobbs is the 60 meter dash American record holder. So she's going to get out the block. She's going to blow everyone away. And then we have Abby Steiner, who has like a weird form. She kind of throws her arms back and forth. Very unorthodox, but she's the NCAA record holder. So you never know what she's going to do. She's a wild card. Lastly, the only final that's going to happen on day 1 is the 10,000 meter, not dash, 10,000 meter race. I always want to say dash because I'm a sprinter. The 10,000 meter race. And what I'm looking for, or who I'm looking at, is a young guy named Nico Young. He goes to Northern Arizona University. He's a 10,000 meter NCAA record holder. He's going to be competing against guys like Drew Hunter and other established professionals. So we're going to see who gets top 3 and who makes it through the trials to the Olympics. So day 2, what events are happening? I don't know. No, I do know. I'm going to let you know. The day 2 events that we're going to be talking about final-wise, there are some semis, are going to be the women's triple jump, the men's shot put final, and the women's 100 meter dash final. Now, some athletes to watch for day 2 are going to be Vashti Cunningham, the daughter of Randall Cunningham, the Philadelphia Eagle. For many years, she's a high jumper. She's been competing for years. And I think this might be the year that she really cracks the code, whatever you want to call it, to be an Olympic medalist. But she has to make the Olympic team first. Other athletes to watch out for today in the men's shot put, we got Ryan Krauser. He is the world record holder multiple times, but Joe Kovacs is always right behind him. He's always on his coattails. So we're going to see who's going to be the U.S. champion today. And then we have the 100 meter dash for women. And I have my prediction, my first prediction, and you can challenge it all you want. Please comment, let me know. My prediction for first, second, and third for the women's 100 meter dash goes as final. First place, of course, Sha'Carri Richardson. She's going to run like a 10.68 or 10.7 low, something like that. Second place, I got Melissa Jefferson. She looked tight in her trials. I think in the semi, she's going to look even better. She just has that laser focus. And then third, we have Mackenzie Long. Remember that name. She's going to be a star. She's an NCAA champion in the 100 meter dash, 200 meter dash, and 4x1 relay. Mackenzie Long will be a star. Take a picture of that. Write it down. Quote me. Whatever. She has a fantastic story. She lost her mother earlier in the year. She talks to her mother in the bleachers before her race. She is inspired. She's just like on a mission, and she's not going to let anything or anybody get in her way. So watch out, Mackenzie Long. So I want to hear your predictions for the women's 100-meter dash in the comments below. And I'm going to see you on day 3. Runners versus the world. Peace.